What if you could hit a pause button on the most stressful part of your day? For literally millions of truck drivers out there, that's the 14-hour on-duty clock. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the FMCSA's new pilot programs for hours of service. And trust me, this isn't just some minor rule change. It's a potential revolution in how drivers work, rest, and really live out there on the road.
Now, really, just think about that for a second. You're stuck at a shipper, and you're just watching the precious minutes of your day tick away. Or you hit a surprise traffic jam that turns I-95 into a parking lot. Right now, that 14-hour clock just keeps grinding down, relentlessly. But what if you could actually pause it? We're going to explore if that's about to become a reality, and what it all means for that critical balance between safety, efficiency, and frankly, a driver's sanity.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's our roadmap for today. First up, we'll talk about the driver's dilemma, why the current system is so tough. Then we'll look at the new flexibility on trial. We'll unpack the two specific pilot programs in detail, and then we're going to wade right into the safety debate. After that, we'll cover what happens next and tie it all together with the compliance connection. So let's roll.
To really get why these changes are even on the table, we have to start with the day-to-day reality for every driver out there. That constant, immense pressure from the current hours of service rules, and that ever-present ticking clock. For anyone who's ever been behind the wheel, you'll live and breathe this rule. The second your on-duty day starts, that 14-hour timer kicks in, and it is absolutely unforgiving. It doesn't care if you have a 2-hour delay at a distribution center, it doesn't care about a pop-up snowstorm, and it definitely doesn't pause for that accident up ahead that's got traffic backed up for miles. This pressure cooker of a situation can make drivers feel like they have to push through fatigue or make risky choices just to beat that clock.
So, after years and years of the industry talking about these exact challenges, it looks like federal regulators are finally responding in a big way. They're now officially exploring a whole new level of flexibility, and it's all backed by a pretty clear government initiative.
And just listen to the official language here coming from the Department of Transportation. The goal they're stating isn't just about moving freight faster, they are explicitly talking about making drivers' jobs safer and more enjoyable. Now that's a huge statement. It signals a potential shift in focus, one that values a driver's well-being right alongside logistics, all while trying to keep our roads safe.
So what are these new options that are on the table? Well, it's not just one big proposal. We're talking about two very different pilot programs that the FMCSA is launching. They're designed to test different approaches to this whole flexibility idea. Let's break down exactly what they are and how they're different.
So at a high level, this slide gives you a perfect snapshot. These two programs tackle two completely different parts of a driver's day. Over here on the left, the split duty period pilot, that's all about your 14-hour driving window, your active workday. Then on the right, the flexible sleeper berth pilot is all about the 10-hour rest period, your off-duty time. So one lets you pause the work clock, the other gives you totally new ways to schedule your rest.
Okay, let's be real, this is the one that has everybody talking. Under this pilot, if you take an off-duty break, anywhere from 30 minutes up to 3 hours, it would actually pause the 14-hour clock. I mean, this is a potential game changer. It means a driver could strategically wait out rush hour traffic, take a real nap during a long delay at the dock, or just manage their day with some common sense instead of being a slave to a clock that never, ever stops.
Now, the second pilot offers a different but just as interesting kind of flexibility. This one focuses on your 10-hour rest period. So instead of just the current 8-2 or 7-3 splits, this program is going to test more balanced options, like a 6-4 or even a 5-5 split. Just think about that for a second. For team drivers trying to coordinate their schedules, or for anyone whose natural sleep cycle just doesn't fit into a neat 8-hour block, this could be a much more restorative, a much more natural way to get your required rest.
And we really genuinely want to hear from you on this one. For all the drivers watching, would a 5-5 split actually help you feel more rested? And for the fleet managers and the safety directors out there, what does this do to your scheduling and your log auditing? Would this kind of split help your operations, or would it just be a headache? This is your chance to weigh in, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading every single one of them.
Now, as you can probably imagine, these proposed changes are not without some pretty serious controversy. I mean, giving drivers more flexibility sounds great on the surface, but there's a long history here, and the issue of safety is right at the heart of a very passionate debate.
Yeah. Looking at this timeline, it is crystal clear this is not a new conversation. The push for more flexible hours of service has been a long and winding road. It started back in 2017 when the FMCSA first tried to get some data. Then in 2020, a major proposal to ease that 14-hour rule was met with a total wall of opposition.
Another attempt in 2021 also stalled out. Every single time, the core concerns around safety brought the whole process to a halt. So this new 2025 initiative, it's not just another attempt, it's a revival. And this time they're armed with a plan to collect a lot more data.
And this quote, this gets right to the heart of the opposition's argument. Safety advocacy groups have been very consistent with their concerns. They worry that while this flexibility could be used responsibly by a lot of drivers, it could also be misused by others, which could lead to more fatigued drivers on the road, not less. Their argument is that the strictness of the current rules, even if it's frustrating, creates a predictable and, more importantly, an enforceable standard for safety.
So this is it. This is the fundamental question that the FMCSA is trying to answer once and for all, this time using hard data from these new pilot programs. Can we give professional drivers more control, more autonomy over their own schedules to improve their quality of life without creating a negative impact on road safety for everyone? That is the billion-dollar question.
So where do we go from here? Look, this isn't just talk and proposals. There is a concrete plan with real next steps for these pilot programs. Let's take a look at how this is all actually going to unfold over the next couple of years.
The entire future of these rules really hinges on one thing: data. And that data is going to come from over 500 real drivers operating in the real world under these new flexible rules. Every logbook entry, every safety event, or maybe more importantly, the lack of safety events, is all going to be scrutinized. This is the hard evidence the FMCSA needs to finally move past the debate and make a decision based on facts, not just opinions.
And the process is very methodical, as it absolutely should be for something this important. It's already kicked off with a public comment period, gathering feedback from everyone in the industry. Next up is protocol development, which is just a fancy way of saying they're carefully designing the study to make sure the data is clean and reliable. Then comes the biggest phase, the actual data collection and monitoring with those 500-plus drivers. And finally, the FMCSA will take all of that data, analyze it, and publish what they find.
So the key takeaway here is pretty simple. Don't expect to see any massive rule changes tomorrow or even next year. This is a multi-year process. The next big milestone to keep an eye on is early 2026. That's when the drivers in these pilot programs will actually start running under these new flexible rules, and the data will start rolling in.
Okay, so as we're all watching these HOS changes develop, it's the perfect time to zoom out for a second. Because whether the rules are rigid like they are now or more flexible in the future, HOS rules are just one piece of the total compliance puzzle. A truly safe operation is not just about managing time, it's about managing a driver's total fitness for duty.
Look, a safe, compliant, and productive fleet isn't built on just managing hours perfectly. It's built on creating a deep, comprehensive culture of safety and compliance. It's about making sure that every single time a driver gets behind the wheel, they are fully fit for duty in every sense of that phrase.
And this slide right here shows you exactly how all these pieces have to connect. Fatigue management through HOS rules is absolutely critical, but you know what? It's only half the story. The other, equally important half, is impairment prevention. You can have a driver with hours to spare on their clock, but if they aren't clear-headed and alert, safety is completely compromised. That's why having robust DOT drug and alcohol testing programs and staying on top of your clearinghouse management is completely non-negotiable. They're really two sides of the same safety coin. And that right there is exactly where we at LabWorks USA come in. We handle that entire drug and alcohol compliance piece for you, making sure your drivers are fit for duty so you can focus on logistics, knowing your safety foundation is rock solid.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. The question that's really at the heart of this entire debate. Could it be that trusting professional drivers with more freedom, more flexibility, when it's backed up by strong, holistic compliance programs that cover everything from fatigue to impairment, could that actually be the key to a safer, more sustainable, and honestly, a more desirable trucking industry for everybody involved?
We really hope this breakdown was valuable for you and your operation. Staying ahead of these regulatory shifts is absolutely key, and we're here to help you navigate all of it. If you found this explainer helpful, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the LabWorks USA channel for more deep dives just like this one. If you were inspired with this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, LabWorks USA. Feel free to share this video as well. Thank you so much for watching.